McGuire's officially now. My name's Will McGuire, and this is Sarah McGuire.
We've been married about 4.5 months now.
We have enjoyed married life so far. We have our 2 dogs, Millie and Mira, which certainly make everything active. A lot of stuff going on, and then having her in dental school right now and me working.
Yeah, that and a baby on the way.
Yeah, that too. I didn't know how much we would highlight that or not.
At first, it was a small pass by when we met. I was working at a restaurant called Fish Daddy's, and we had a mutual friend who also worked with me.
Yep.
And so towards the end of the summer, in between freshman and sophomore year, he brought him over for lunch, and I'm in the middle of working, and he goes, "Hey, Sarah, this is my friend Will." I said, "Hi, Will. Gotta get back to work." How did you know I was the one?
Okay, I remember mentioning to my parents, and my dad immediately went, "Stop the brakes, you may be going a bit too quick with this." My mom pulled me to the side and said, "I'll work on him." I could tell my mom had definitely either done some work or he had thought about it, and he was like, "Yeah, we fully support you in however you want to do this, however you want to go." It was one of those things of just knowing how much I trusted her. I very much realized how fortunate I was that I could truly say what I thought about everything, what I felt about everything.
You were always there for me. You were different, and you were the one that I know I could always rely on to be there and to support, and that's how I knew.
For our engagement, she had a couple of conditions. Wanted to be in nice clothes when it happened.
I did.
Wanted your nails to be done.
It's part of the nice clothes.
And wanted some type of sparkly light of some kind.
Lights,
Was that a precondition, or was that something I just assumed?
No, that was part of the condition.
Okay. I had told her that I was going to propose
like
vacation.
at least a year after when he actually did propose. But then it was the day before graduation. Like, our families were coming to town, and I was like, you know, while we have this long span of time, like, we should go ahead and do like an appetizer or something at our house. So we like bought a whole bunch of charcuterie things, and he's like, well, if your family's gonna be here, we should, you know, set up the backyard, make it look presentable for them and all of that kind of stuff. And so I was setting up my own proposal.
Yeah, I was being resourceful. So we end our graduations, we go to her house. I was like, let's go take the dogs out or something like that. And so we go outside, and then I say, I know we promised to not do graduation gifts, but close your eyes. She closed her eyes. I set up the phone on the door, and then got on one knee.
I was shocked. I didn't know what was happening.
But yeah, it's one of those things. I knew she was going to say yes. She told me basically she was going to say yes whenever it happened.
So we chose Inn at Quarry Ridge. Well, I chose Inn at Quarry Ridge.
I was supportive of your vision.
Yes, you were. So we were on the Wranglers together, and there was actually a wedding that happened here where the rehearsal dinner, we got invited here to teach a lesson, and then we also did a performance right outside the pool. Seeing the place, I was like, oh my gosh, this place is gorgeous. And so he hadn't even seen it, and we booked the venue because we couldn't tour it with enough time, and we were like, we gotta make sure we get it. Our experience with all the staff and the coordinators went really well. I had a really good idea of what I wanted to do with a lot of the planning. Working with them was actually really nice because they would see all that I had, and then they'd be like, okay, I think this will work out really well, but you may want to consider doing this differently to help like streamline and flow this kind of stuff. It just makes like what could be a stressful day just so much easier on you too. It was nice being able to wake up in the morning and, you know, we had like our hairstylists and makeup artists who came, and we all got to get ready in that big master bathroom, and we just played some music, hung out. So having them here and being able to hang out, and especially like the night before, but also, you know, still on the day of doing all the things, it was a blessing.
Highlight of the ceremony, man, I cried like a pig, like ugly. It's one of those things. I guess I look back fondly in my emotion, but I snorted.
The ceremony itself, obviously, it's like getting to marry your partner, you know, like that's obviously the best part. But there's, you know, a few things that like end up like standing out. Of course, like when I started to walk in, I had this like ginormous cathedral veil that even had like a little part that goes in front. My dad and I are standing outside the doors right before they're about to open it, and we're talking. He's like, you know, no wedding ever is perfect, you know, like there's always something that happens. They open the doors and we start walking in, and all of a sudden I'm 3 steps in and my veil falls off, like completely. And so we pick it up and I'm just holding it while I'm like walking down the aisle with him, and he goes, see, not even 10 seconds in and it's not perfect anymore. And so we're just laughing down the aisle. When you're getting ready for the wedding, you need to know that it's not going to be perfect. There are going to be things that are going to stress you out. But I think accepting that there are things that are going to go wrong and just figuring out what's the next thing to do to kind of help with that makes it where it becomes much more enjoyable. And knowing that it doesn't have to be perfect as long as you're marrying the person that you love. And that's kind of the most important part to know.
All the prep was stress. Started the ceremony, all of it went away, felt fantastic. And then the in-between, I would get stress. And then the reception started, fantastic, great time. And it's one of those things, I mean, it's just part of my personality of being able to let go of those parts of it. Because, I mean, once it's going, there's nothing like it. And it really is one of those things of, this is the start of what I want the rest of my life to be. And just knowing that someone's there to say yes and say that they want to live that life too is just incredibly special.